Hey everyone, welcome back to Midwestern Heads podcast. Sorry about the last week. We got a little behind schedule on some things, but we were back at it with Nic Trotter. How you doing, Nick?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It's an awesome place you have here.
Thanks, man.
I like
the
it.
highest compliment.
It's lights up everywhere. It's chill.
Yeah, we like to keep it kind of chill.
I dig it.
We used to do, I think the first time I talked to you about doing a podcast, we were still doing video. And so we'd have cameras on everybody, and it was kind of awkward.
Just like bright lights
Yeah.
making us, and
Yeah.
we're all like pale, so it doesn't look good.
Yeah, light shining on her head. You can see this like thinning hair right here. But yeah, thanks for coming, man. So you got quite a few things going on right now.
Yeah.
Kind of always do.
Lots of things going on. Lots of irons in the fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like to stay busy.
Yeah, I do actually. And when I'm not busy doing things, I'm busy doing other things.
Right?
Yeah.
Keeping up with stuff. Keeping up with probably the new house and
Yeah,
all
we
that stuff.
just moved into a new house. I'm a dad. I've got 2 little girls and an awesome wife, and we've got a Saint Bernard puppy. He's like 6 months old. And he weighs 80 pounds.
He's
I'm
basically
massive.
another human being.
Yeah, it's like we adopted another kid. If you had to take care of a mentally handicapped kid, I bet you it would be like taking care of a Saint Bernard puppy.
Really.
Yeah, it's that attentive, like it's crazy.
So many needs, and
Yeah, it's nuts. But then we got a little Pomeranian dog that was my wife's, and then a couple cats. I've had this cat Vegas. He's a Siamese cat. I've had him forever.
you just have like exotic animals floating around.
And then we have we have like a cheetah.
Yeah, we have a couple of jaguars in the back.
And you're into saltwater stuff too, aren't you?
Yes.
Saltwater fish. I know that's
Yes.
kind of one of your hobbies.
I loved it. So I had a tank. Well, it all started whenever we got married. We got married in Florida. We always loved the ocean. So we wanted to bring some of the ocean back to us because we couldn't leave Lee Summit for the time being.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we figured out that we'd just start a science experiment, which was a reef tank. And we both knew nothing about it. So it was something we could do together.
Yeah, that's pretty. I feel like that's really complicated to just take on too, because you got to make sure you don't kill everything.
Which we did in the beginning, and it
Yeah.
was really bad, and
yeah.
I was horrible.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I have to stop this. I have to dig deeper. And so now I feel like I'm somewhat of a marine biologist after
You basically have to be.
after 4.5 years of running this tank. I mean, what a lot of people don't know is when you have a saltwater aquarium, the water doesn't go bad. What happens is they take molecules out of the water. So alkalinity, magnesium, iodine, strontium, they take all that out of the water. So you have to take some of that water out and put new salt water in that has those trace elements in there to bring it up. So what you don't see is the 20 gallons a week hauled up in 5-gallon buckets with moving old water out of the tank and putting it in new and making that water and mixing the salt. And
Jeez.
Putting on like a hazmat suit, and pouring salt into a vat.
well, some of the stuff is dangerous. It's all bacteria. So if you have a cut on your hand, don't put your hand in the tank. So when Tracy got pregnant with Sparrow, she's like, I'm out. The
Yeah,
tank's
don't
yours.
touch
all
us.
you.
And because some of the corals in there, if you bump them, they'll squirt out toxins and stuff. Actually, there was a story recently in Kansas City where this couple boiled a rock, and they do that to remove either parasites from the ocean, like flatworms or bristleworms or fireworms. And they boiled this rock, and it had these paleothoa on it, which is these little coral creatures. And the toxins got into the steam from them boiling it, and they were inhaling it.
Oh my gosh.
And so they got rushed to the emergency room.
Jeez. Oh my god. I'm now scared of something that I never knew existed.
Yeah, from what I've heard, you're pretty pretty on top of it, like getting all that stuff going. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
So I learned how to grow it and make it thrive instead of
that's really cool.
putting new stuff in there and it decreasing. You know, and when I sold it to move to the new house, because I didn't want to move it. I was starting to research how to do it, and I'm like, this is giving me anxiety. I just need to sell it and be done with it for a year or two. But the guys that had come in to move it, they were like, these are some of the biggest coral pieces we've seen. They're going to go in the show tank. And
Nice.
Dang.
You're
So
an
I-
award-winning
so
coral man.
I can go to the store, it's in the owner's tank.
Nice. My dog's freaking out right now because her mom's gone. Well, other than that, you got that, and then music's come back in lately too, right?
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I didn't think anybody would still listen or or anything or have that kind of attachment to some of the music I was involved with.
So for people who don't know what we're talking about the band Nick is in, the Leo Project, which is a local Kansas City, but you guys kind of moved around a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah. It started in Lee Summit, and then we were from Kansas City when we went places like California and Texas.
Yeah.
And
Anyone that leaves Missouri, you're just from Kansas City.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lee Summit.
Yeah.
They're like, where is that?
Yeah.
Which is funny because whenever we went to L.A. or whatever, people would say they could definitely tell we were from the Midwest, and we had
Like a Midwestern accent.
drawers, a little accent.
You say a lot whenever you get this way.
Oops.
Oops. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna sneak by you.
Or you do like the weird head nod, which I know nobody can see us doing,
Yeah.
but like when you
They
don't
know what
know
we're talking
somebody
about.
and you.
They probably feel it when you just did it. Right?
Yeah.
Right there.
I do. I wave to people pretty often still. Like in my neighborhood, if I pass somebody,
Right.
But you don't actually wave at them. You're with your hand on the wheel. You put up one finger.
They might look at you or give you a nod to let you know.
Yeah.
And then
But it makes you feel a certain way when
It does.
It makes you feel a certain
you're
way.
like, if
and
shit
it's-
goes down, he's got my back.
Exactly.
And see, I feel that way because I moved into a new neighborhood, and all of the people in my neighborhood they're cool, they're great people, but they're older than I am. So whenever I see them, I want to feel accepted by them, to know, hey,
Yeah.
I live here, and hey, I'm cool. I want to know you and talk to you,
Right.
because that's how I am.
Yeah. Be part of the community.
Yeah,
Yeah. For sure. So whenever you're talking about, like, you guys started here, you guys moved out to LA, how did that happen? Like, give us a little bit of backstory.
So Tyler and I, the singer, and I were in another band called Intent, and it was popular in Lee Summit in Grandview in Kansas City, and we saw some success with playing shows around there. And then so people in Intent saw the band was falling apart or whatever the case may be, but Tyler and I started playing some acoustic shows just to make some money. We wanted to play music full time. Excuse me. So we started making up songs, just original songs that we play in between covers. And people were like, dude, those are really good songs. You should try and record those. So we knew this guy, and he went to college out at in Harrisonville. I can't remember the name of the college out there. But he had a recording studio out there. That's what he was going to college out there for. They had a good music program.
Trying to remember the name of that.
Yeah. I wish I knew.
Oh,
I know his name's John Tucker, though.
Google it, y'all.
Yeah. He was he was awesome. He still is an awesome guy. But he wanted to record the band, so we figured perfect time to go record the song. So at the time, it was me and Lance Bennett, which was the drummer from Intent, and Tyler, the singer from Intent. And there was a bass player from another band that we had really liked and connected with. So we asked him to play bass. But there was this other guitar player, because we kind of had this 3-guitar thing going on that we wanted to do to sound cool live.
Yeah. Have like a wall of sound.
Yeah. Which later was kind of the basis of Evelyn Awake.
Yeah, that makes sense.
3 guitar leads,
Figured out a good-
solos, harmonies, guitar harmonies.
Harmony. Yeah.
So this other guy though, he would just play solos just nonstop over like even the slow parts. So we were like, no, that's not how we wanted it to go. So then it was a 4-piece, and we recorded these few songs at this college, and people really liked it. Mm-hmm. It was really strange because they were just some kind of
throwaways.
Yeah,
just written to just kind of jam on originally.
Exactly. Yeah. So then we had these connections with these rappers around town because of Intent, with like Aaron Yates and Rob Rebeck. So we decided to record at Chapman, mm-hmm. and we put out a little like 4-song demo with the songs that we knew. We had tested them live and played them, and people really dug them, and they knew the songs mm-hmm. after a couple listen throughs. Mm-hmm. So that's when it became a thing, and we entered this contest, this Battle of the Bands, after being a band for like 4 months, and we destroyed everyone. And it was like, we kind of felt bad. We were like, we're just a young band that coming out here and playing, and people enjoy the music. And because Tyler's a phenomenal singer, mm-hmm. and he's a phenomenal songwriter, and he is to this day. He still does his thing. So people really connect with his lyrics and stuff. So so we entered this Battle of the Bands, and there had been bands in there that have been, playing around here for 5 to 10 years that were in the contest that wanted the spot. And we came up through the little tiny rounds, mm-hmm. playing the little tiny shows and the little tiny bars and little tiny towns, and then we got the spot for Freakers Ball, man, and it was an awesome lineup. It was like Slipknot, Seven Dust, As They Lay Dying, Unearth, and the Leo Project.
Damn.
That's sick.
And we were like,
Is this
what?
happening?
and and people were really good spirits about it too. They came out to the show, support us, and other bands and stuff that we thought hated us. So we played this show, and we show up, and it's absolutely horrible outside. It's pouring down rain. It's at KCIR, the old drag strip mm-hmm. raceway off Old Nolan Road. Mm-hmm. And it's outside, and it's
That's where Freakers Ball was?
Yeah.
Is there a video of this? Because this sounds familiar to me.
Yes, there is a video of this.
And I remember just looking out, everyone like soaked, and all the gear just getting rained on.
So it's cold, like you can see your breath when we play, and we got up there, and we're just young pups, and I saw videos of it. I watch it from time to time when we hang out together, mm-hmm. and we get up there, we play our set, everything was awesome, and then somebody got electrocuted somewhere on the stage crew, and it blew the whole sound system, and it started lightning out really bad. So we just got done playing. We went to the merch booth, and people were just coming up and buying stuff left and right. We were like, all right, there's no other bands to draw away attention. Like, that was like, and no other band went on for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And people were starting to like chant, and they were getting muddy,
flipping,
and throwing stuff
over.
Yeah. And so finally, As Lay Dying doesn't play, Unearth doesn't play, and we're hanging out in the back tent, and I'm like, dude, there's this person and this person, and there's Sean Crane from Slipknot, and there's
you're like nerding out.
Yeah, I'm like, there's Nick from As Lay Dying, and so we start talking to him, and he's like, dude, if you can find a venue right now, we will go play. It'll be you guys, Unearth, and As Lay Dying. If you can find a club owner that'll say yes.
Holy shit.
And so we knew all the club owners. So we start calling them. We're like, dude, this is a deal of a lifetime.
Yeah.
There's thousands of wet soaking people out here. We can get them in the door right now. And so I found one venue, and it was I don't want to say it, but
that's fine.
It was a venue with this promoter that puts on these Battle of the Bands, and he's like, yeah, this venue's available. And I said, man, I'll pay you like $500 for the venue. And he's like, well, we have country wars going on here tonight. And I'm like, what? How many people are there? And he's like, 37. I'm like, man, you have to let us come play. He's like, nope, it's my venue for the night. And I'm like, whatever. So I have to go back to these guys and tell them that all the venues turned us down. I mean, we called them all.
Yeah.
We called all of them. We called the Hurricane. And
You got turned down for country wars.
yeah, As I Lay Dying, Unearth, and the Leo Project. And so Seven Dust doesn't come out. They're on the bus. They're like, we're not playing. Dude got electrocuted. We're not doing anything. And then Slipknot finally comes out, and it's dark now. It's now like 9 o'clock, 9:30. There's been no music for 5.5 hours, 6 hours. And Slipknot comes out, and they just destroy. Of course, it's Slipknot.
what they do.
Yeah, it's crazy. 9 dudes jumping around in masks.
Banging trash cans.
See, I love it, man. I still love it.
Yeah.
I still listen to
It's
them.
always a spectacle.
They're insane from day one. And they played an amazing show, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then the show was over. So it was Leo Project and Slipknot.
That's amazing.
It was so cool. So we caught a lot of attention from like the radio DJs and stuff there, and some public notoriety from that show. So we went to go record like a whole album, right? And we wanted to do it with Chapman Recording Studios with Rob Rebeck, and he does all of Tech Nine's recordings and stuff. So we record this 10-song CD, and we put it out on our own. We duplicate it all.
You're like your own label, basically.
Yeah. I mean, and we make all the T-shirts and stuff, and just sell it around the city, whatever. Well, our bass player worked for a mutual fund store called the Mutual Fund Store, and they did mutual funds.
Whoa. Wait.
And he was like a filing guy there. Well, he gave one to the boss because the boss was in a band when he was in college, guitar player.
Oh, cool.
Kind of cool, right? That dude later went on to sell that company for $340 million.
Jesus.
So he took his daughters to a Taking Back Sunday concert at the Uptown Theater, because that's what they like. And he came home and he was like, is this what music is coming to? Like, that was horrible. Like, what was that? So he actually opened our CD and he put it in his CD player, right? And he's like, this is really good. And we're like,
This is all like a movie.
yeah, like, you think so? And he told Sean, our bass player, he told him, why don't you get all the guys together and bring him into the office? So we go to Overland Park. It's like college and Metcalf. And we're just young, like 21.
Rocker
22, yeah. We walk in this building and the secretary's like, we get you coffee? We're like, what?
I'll take a beer.
We don't drink coffee. Like, what's that? So we go into this room and this guy's like sits down and he's like, I like the sound, I want to do something. We're like, okay. So what can we do? And he's like, what do bands normally do these days? So we're like, well, we've been in contact with this guy and we think he'd be a good manager, and we've been in contact with this guy and we think he'd be good at this, and we all pooled together and created this vision, this business plan to put out this band, like a production. And he says, I'll back it and you guys do the work.
Cool.
So 6 months later, he goes, okay, now go into your jobs and tell them you quit. So we all go in and we're like, okay, we quit. And the jobs are like, that's cool.
They're like, we get it.
That is cool.
Like someone got out.
They're like, never thought it was possible.
So we got out of our jobs, and the next thing we were supposed to do was go to the gym every day at 9 a.m. and work out until like 11, and then go home and shower and go to rehearsal at 12:30 and play until 6 p.m. every day.
So you had like a strict kind of schedule that you're not just going to waste time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he hired everybody, trainers, and to whip us into shape, and he put us up in a nice side of town in a rehearsal space. And once we started kind of honing our sound, or if you call it, or, you know, because we tried different things before we actually settled on a formula, I guess. And so we're in the nice studio, we're going to the gym, everybody's looking good, everybody's feeling good. And he brings this guy in, and his name's Howie Huberman. And I don't know if you know who he is, but he found Poison and Guns N' Roses.
Jesus. Yeah.
He wrote Unskinny Bop.
Wow.
You know
it's notable. It's a notable song. Poison was actually the first concert I ever went to.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was 12.
Really?
Yeah.
First concert I ever went to was Cinderella.
Mine was Cinderella and Poison.
Cinderella played
Were you guys at the same concert? What is that?
No, because you would have been a little bit older than me. Yeah, whenever the one I went to was Cinderella opened for Poison. Yeah, it was amazing.
This was probably an off date from the Poison tour.
Right.
Because Cinderella played on the back of a flatbed trailer at this town fair in Drexel, Missouri. Man, it was, don't ask me what I was doing in Drexel, Missouri.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
So, we're going to the gym, we're like writing all these songs, and it's just crazy, and we're going out at night, and we're drinking, and we're throwing flyers in every Pitch Weekly stand we can find, and we're sticking them on all the walls, and Leo Project stickers on all the road signs, and, you know, urinals everywhere.
Anywhere you can fit a sticker.
Yeah, and it started catching on, and we put on shows like once every quarter, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger in Kansas City. Then we started doing like what we call Weekend Warriors, you know. We were the Weekend Warriors. We would travel. We were a touring band on the weekend.
Yeah. It's all the perks of touring, but you get to go back home.
Yeah.
3 or 4 days. Yeah.
And you come home and you're like, man, I'm beat up.
Yeah.
And that was only 3 days. So those little stints got longer and longer, and we just perfected the songs that we were recording and writing and testing, and this part there and this part there. And if you watch some of the videos and listen to the CDs, the Tyler was just ad-libbing the lyrics, and sometimes he wouldn't really even be singing much of anything. It
just sounded good.
Yeah. So after the Weekend Warrior stuff, he flew in Howie Huberman, and he was like a coach. And he would be like, okay, now play a song. And so we'd play a song. He'd be like, no, now play it like you're playing in front of 5,000 people.
Ooh, yeah.
And he would stand like in front of you, like
Face to
really
face.
close, and you could smell his breath and leather jacket almost. Like he always had he had a Grammy jacket on because he's a Grammy award-winning dude.
Yeah.
And so he's in Kansas City, and then we start flying in these people to try out for a manager position, and we found this guy from LA, and he was like, I think his name was Randy Spencer, and he broke some pretty big bands and worked with some pretty big bands. But he did this thing, and he would go, and it's awesome. And that's awesome.
Wish people could see that.
It's awesome. It's like a head nod thing, but everything was awesome.
So you never knew if it was actually awesome.
Yeah, like, dude, how's the Gates barbecue? It's awesome. Dude, how'd you like the new album that we put out? It's awesome. Hey guys, I just want to let you know, listen to music. It's awesome. That hotel we stayed in, it was awesome. I love the sushi place. It was awesome. Like every time. So that was just kind of what
That's his shtick.
we still talk about it to this day.
He's got 2 first names.
That's all. Yeah, Randy Spencer. So then we started getting all these connections with LA and like New York, and it was getting like fancy pants. It was crazy. So we flew out to LA. We started shopping this new songs, right? There's like 8 new songs. And we met with some crazy people, man. We went into where Velvet Revolver and Stone Temple Pilots record. We went into NRG Studios with Jay Baumgartner, and Jacoby Shaddix was in there. Chris Cornell was in Studio B while we were hanging out in Studio C. It was insane.
Yeah. You're hanging out where all the legends are hanging out.
Yeah. And we meet up and have Chipotle, of all places, with Marcos Carell from POD. He was a guitar player. Mm-hmm. And that was our dude. That was our point of contact. That he was going to introduce us to everybody.
Yeah.
So we scheduled some time to record with him and Steve Russell, who did Azalea Dying and a few other bands. So we thought his sound was pretty cool for the rock sound we wanted.
Yeah.
So Marcos took us into this studio in San Diego called Foolish Art Studios, and it was incredible. We that's what we did. We woke up, we went to the studio, we walked across to the Mexican food booth across the street and had nachos and went back to the studio. Like, that's all we did.
It's a dream. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're like in there and people are visiting, like Jacoby visited and like crazy. It's just mind blowing. So we were working on these songs and we just feel that it didn't feel right. Like once we were done. So we get done at the studio. We recorded 2 songs with them. What we thought were our best songs had no effect, like the people attached to other songs anyways, so it was like wasted money almost. But the experience was incredible. So we go back to our hotel room the last night, and on the way back we see this sign and it says Tijuana 7 miles away, and we're like we all look at each other. And the manager, he was from Boston, he was like, guys, no, we're not going to Tijuana
it's
tonight.
Bill Burr is your manager.
It's not happening. So we get back to the hotel and we're like, we're going to Tijuana tonight.
It's only 7 miles. Come on.
Right? So their manager, we catch him in the other room, in his hotel room, and he's on the phone with our investor. And he's like, they're crazy. They want to go to Tijuana tonight. And he's like, well, go ahead and take them. And so he gave us all $200 a piece in cash to put in our sock. To put in our sock in case we got in trouble. We could pull our money together and pay him off to let us out.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good prep.
That was the investor's plan. So I imagine he had done this before.
He's like, don't worry about it.
So we go across the border, and it's the first time I'd ever gone across the border. And we're walking across the bridge, and there's dudes with like AKs standing there. Once we get out of that line, there's just a line of taxis, and they're like, strip clubs. Like, people, they're just yelling at you. They're like, strip clubs. You walk past another one, they're like, drugs. You walk past another one, like, hotel. And then you just, like, pick which one you want to go with.
It's hilarious.
So we chose drinks first. So we hop in the back. Well, everybody else piled in the back quickly as possible. So I got stuck sitting up front.
You're his hostage.
It's probably midnight at this point, and all the street lights are flashing all the same, and I'm sitting up front of a taxi cab, and I'm like, got the OS handle hanging on, going on, and everybody's laughing, going, Nick's sitting up front. And we're flying. We're like doing 60 through like this downtown market, like that you'd see in like the new Pixar Coco movie, like. And we thought we were gonna die, but anyways,
Tijuana, come on.
Yeah, the rest of the night, I bought some awesome tequila to bring back, and we were a little inebriated when we got back, and it was about 4 a.m, and the guy's like, let me see your ID. So I gave him my ID, and he's like, Missouri. You boys are a long way from home. And I'm like, yeah, so I walk through, and I have this big yellow bag that the guy had put the tequila in, and I keep walking, and the guy's like, stop! stop, Nicholas Trotter, stop now. And I'm like, oh, and I kind of put my hands up in the air because these guards like step forward with guns. And I'm like, and he's like, what do you have in your hand? And I'm like, tequila. And he's like, you got to declare it. And I'm being an ignorant 21-year-old. I'm like, I have tequila.
I declare.
I'm like, with my hand on my hip and one on the bag of tequila in the air. I'm like, I have tequila. Everybody just starts laughing. They're like, whatever, dude, just go through. You just have to tell us so we can pay taxes on it.
Yeah.
And so
I do declare.
I reached into my sock and I pulled out the $200 and paid with that because it wasn't even my money anyway, right?
It's free. Yeah.
So we finally meet up with the producer we enjoy working with. His name was Fred Archambault. And we go back home after because we were only supposed to stay for a week and a half. And we ended up staying for 3 months. We were going out to eat and wherever we'd go, Fred Durst would be right there. My drummer would be like, that's Fred Durst.
Yeah, every time.
And we're like, we have to get a CD in his hand.
Yeah.
So the same time we were in San Diego, that happened, and he called us because we were leaving to go to San Diego, and we met him. And on the way back, when we got to San Diego, Sean and Lance left because they got a call from Fred Durst to go drop off a CD at the Interscope building. Right?
Yeah.
So they drive back in the middle of the night to go drop off an album, and they get back and they were like, "Dude, that was cool. It was the top of this building, and he was sitting at the end of this office.
In a big
There's
chair.
a real long, big hallway. And it's desk, and it's what up?" But it was so surreal, man.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
It's like a dream.
So they record the album, and then came time to promote the album, right? And the only way to do that's through playing shows and touring. So we just started playing shows again, and it was funny to be little local celebrities. If you're trying to take a girl out on a date and go to a local show, good luck with that. They pushed the girl out of the way to talk to you. It was ridiculous. Because they would just hear things, people say things, and some of it may not even be true.
Yeah, it's just you gotta go with it.
Yeah. And there were some people that were mad at us, and that's definitely not the way to handle anybody being successful. It's something you got your boys, you play shows together, and you should have their backs,
Yeah, for sure.
But so we came back, and then came talks of wanting to tour. So we tried to find the best avenues for touring, and at that time the best option was to pay money to go on tour.
You have to buy in.
Yeah. So that's kind of how it all started and where it went to. So it was real quick from garage to flying to LA to hang out with Jay Baumgartner.
It just happened in an instant almost.
Dude, we went to the Gibson factory.
Oh yeah, in Nashville,
In LA.
Oh, in LA.
And it was really cool. We were invited to go, and I picked up this acoustic guitar, and I'm playing it, and I play a Stain song on it. I can't remember what song it was, but the lady that was in the room, she goes, "Aaron Lewis played that guitar last night." And
It was enchanted.
I'm gonna put it down.
Yeah, put it right back down here.
And Tyler picked up a Gibson SG. It was neon blue and had these flames on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was playing some music on it. And the lady said that Bret Michaels had used that guitar a couple nights before at a concert in LA.
Jeez, so cool.
So the artists, they go into these different, guitar places wherever they are on shows, and they just pick out a guitar off the wall they want to play that night, and they make sure it's there and tuned, and they hand it to you. And
Wow. That's really
It's not
cool.
a bad gig.
yeah,
That's really cool.
definitely. So it was a crazy story, and eventually it all kind of opportunity comes with everything you do. So the more people you meet, the more opportunities there's going to be. So the more places you go, the more people you meet. So, the members eventually just had different opportunities available. Like, when I left the band, it was like right at the top of the success of the band. And they had another guitar player come in, and he eventually joined Adelita's Way for a couple tours, and the drummer joined another band to go pursue something that he wanted to do musically. And then everybody just kind of went to different opportunities.
Just kind of kept moving.
Yeah.
They I feel like that kind of naturally happens a little bit too.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
And I can't imagine these bands that have been together for
50 years.
Yeah. Bands like Metallica or Tool or even crazier, the Rolling Stones.
Yeah. They're all like geezers and still.
I'm like, dude, how do we lose David Bowie, Prince?
We still have all of them.
And we still have freaking, what's the guitar player's name?
Keith Richards.
Keith Richards, dude. We still have
do, like yoga every day.
Still here.
Yeah.
They're trucking along.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're walking like mummies. They're just like made of dust, but still going.
You want to hear a funny story about the Rolling Stones?
Absolutely.
So, when we had said investor for the band, he wanted us to expand our musical horizons. So the Rolling Stones were playing at the Wichita College campus, and he bought us tickets, but they were like 8th row tickets.
So you got like the good, perfect seat.
I can actually see how old Keith Richards was
through all the makeup.
So we were like, we want to go to the show. Tyler, you want to go to the show? And he's like, yeah. We asked Sean, do you want to go to the show? He's like, not really, man. I'm not really like a really big fan or anything like that, so no. I'm like, okay. So we asked Lance, and Lance was, when we started, Lance was like 15, 16, so he was flying to LA meeting these producers, and he was still in high school.
Yeah, his mind's just blown.
Yeah, he's still in high school. So 2 of the band members wanted to go, and 2 of the band members didn't want to go, so we had 2 extra tickets. So we were both dating girls at the time, so we were like,
perfect.
You want to go to the Rolling Stones show? We didn't have a way to go down there because we both had junk cars. I mean, we were musicians on a per diem by an investor, like on a record label, So we decided that we were going to take the band van, right? Without the other band members knowing.
Yeah.
Or the investor knowing. So we take the band van and we get down there and we realize we stop at a liquor store once we get in Wichita, and there's no beer on Sunday sales in Wichita in a college town.
Yep, Kansas is weird.
So we didn't know that. So then we had no beer, and we were supposed to go see the Rolling Stones. And we had girls with us. I mean,
You need beer.
Yeah, right? So on the way there, I'm driving, and 2 deer run out in front of the people in front of us, and we didn't think anything of it. We were like, oh, that was crazy. And then 3 of them ran out in front of us. And I hit them pretty good, man, and they spun around and banged up the passenger side of the van really good, and one of them didn't get up, but so we pull over and everything's busted, and we're like, oh.
And you guys essentially stole the van.
They borrowed without asking.
The worst possible thing that could have happened.
Yeah. So we go to the show.
Naturally.
Yeah. And we saw the Rolling Stones, and it was amazing. We were eight rows back, and Mick Jagger was like pointing to us when we was like the middle of the stage lifted up and went out into the crowd, and he was like pointing to us and like doing his can't get no satisfaction stuff. It was cool. It was super cool. So after the show, we went to go try and find a headlight assembly like at Walmart or something to fit the van. Yeah, that's not happening. We tried to buy a plunger and pull out some of the dents. Yeah, that's not happening. So we just decided to drive back.
See what happens.
Not even get a hotel room, just go back. And we get there, we park the van, and we all go to our respective cars for the evening, disappointed, and we get in and we go home. Well, it was like 6 and 7, 8 a.m. when we had gotten back. So we had just fallen asleep, and about 10 a.m. the phone calls started pouring in. What did you do to the band van? What, dude, somebody stole the... It's like the band van is just like smashed, man. There's like hair on it. There's blood. Like, what? So we're like, dude, we went to the Rolling Stones concert.
They're like, oh, okay.
I knew you shouldn't have gone. No, it was crazy seeing the Rolling Stones. And then, man, I wasn't a huge fan, but after seeing them live, man, ever since now the Rolling Stones come on, I'm like, I get this.
Yeah,
now.
You can understand it.
I get this. I saw it live. I understand it, and I like it now.
Right.
It's cool. It's cool.
So you were telling me earlier, kind of about how everybody, like, you meet all these people and all these different opportunities started happening and stuff.
Yeah.
So everybody kind of started to branch out and kind of do their own thing.
Absolutely.
What year are we talking here?
2007, 2008. Yeah.
And then now you guys are back though, and that started.
Yeah, that started last year.
Yeah. So tell us how that happened.
Okay, so
that's pretty interesting. Tell us kind of how everyone, kind of split off and like when about that happened and all that.
Yeah, everybody split off and did their own thing, and I joined another band called Sidewise, which seen some great success and toured with Seven Dust, and the last album I put out with them had LeJean singing on one of the songs, which is
that's cool.
I'm like, cool, I can die now. LeJean sang on something that I wrote on the edge of my bed. That was cool. And then a few of the other guys, they've seen many bands, many cover bands, many successes with like Tyler did the Tech Nine Band of Psychos and was on tour with, he was his backline for, 25 shows a month for months on end, just crushing it with Tech Nine. And Sean, he's a successful businessman. He runs a marketing media company called Grow Practice Grow for dental companies to increase their business.
Cool. And
I sell real estate now, so
yeah.
We've seen great success through real estate, and I love it. So we came back together last year. It had been 8-9 years, and we all got in the same room together. Tyler brought his daughter because nobody would watch her, so we all went up at a Mexican restaurant down the street from my house, and it just felt like brothers hanging out. It was really cool,
just like old times.
Yeah. So we decided to play a show, and we had a certain amount of pre-sale tickets, and those sold out quick, so we released some more. And then people were lining up at the front door last year at the Riot Room. We sold it out, and people had to be turned away. So we're like, maybe we need a bigger venue, because some of the people there were from Texas and Chicago and Florida.
Flew out and couldn't go and get in.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So we decided to do it at the Voodoo Lounge in Harris Casino on July 28th. And tickets are $10 right now. At the door, there'll be $20. But the show starts at 7:30. It's going to be fun.
Sweet.
Yeah, we've got 2 opening bands too. There's one called Champagne Campaign.
Nice.
I thought that was cool, and they're like a rock band. They're really cool. It's kind of like Killers-esque kind of music. I guess would be the best way to say it.
Like indie, alt rock, maybe.
Yeah. There's so many genres.
Yeah,
like
they don't make sense.
Indie, alt rock, rap, hip hop,
neo, new metal, fusion.
Yeah, new metal was good metal, like Nonpoint and Mudvayne and And
In nu metal, I never understood
yeah.
how they spelled it. Like why they spell it like that. I don't
Now it's what is it?
like gent music.
Gent. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got to be really complicated.
But really easy too.
Yeah. See, you're doing it.
I'm genting.
You
Yeah.
just wrote a riff right there.
That's about how we used to write them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of the bands that I was in after, writing with Tyler, I would just write a riff right there, and I'd be like, "Quick, it's a song." And they'd be like, "Dude, do we have to like work on it for a while?" I'm like, "Nah, dude, we got like 50 more of these to write."
Yeah.
Gotta keep the flow going.
So yeah, so we sold out the Right Room last year, and then we want to sell out the Voodoo Lounge this year, this July, and we're super excited because Harrah's is an awesome venue, and of course we can go gamble afterwards and have cigars and adult beverages.
Yeah. That'll be nice. I'm
So-
definitely going to try to come out. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
For sure.
it's gonna be awesome. The venue's cool. They have great drinks, and it's huge. So
yeah. You can eat there also.
Yeah.
You can like do whatever.
They have like an on-site hotel somewhere.
Oh,
It's
there's
really
a-
close.
There's an author. Wait, no, but they have the the casino buffet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I've eaten there. It's
Oh, yeah.
amazing. They have crab legs.
Absolutely.
Is it a Friday or Saturday night?
It's a Saturday night.
Cool, because they're gonna have crab legs.
Oh man.
So I'm trying to go to that for sure.
That was the ticket. Right there.
It's the butter.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, it's something about the butter.
It's all about it.
But the getting back together process has been fun. Like we never thought we'd play those songs again. So rehearsing them and playing them now is really cool because we can be more precise than a bunch of young, dumb, and full of booze
Yeah.
kids that we were. And we can add like new flares in it. We can
Right.
kind of take a riff and gent it up.
Yeah,
or
kind of like
modernize it.
modern. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and make
cool.
it a little bit heavier, a little bit more melodic, or even go as far as to adding some new stuff in, like backing tracks to old songs that weren't there before that we thought would sound cool. So with the Voodoo Lounge now, we're able to provide an experience instead of just a concert because they have all these crazy projectors and tons of sound equipment. It's going to sound so good, and
Yeah.
we plan on projecting possibly some video or some imaging
cool.
while we're playing. It'll be pretty unique.
More of like a full production kind of thing.
I wanted like black candelabras with like fake spider webs and like candles and like incense and stuff, but we
mist.
literally could not find like a interior rental company around here that did that. However,
That would have been really cool.
in LA, New York, big cities, they got them all day.
Oh yeah,
And I'm like,
maybe that's something we need here.
wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, or maybe there's not
Start
enough
a
people that
business.
need that.
Yeah, because we wanted to make it like a set the scene, like, or if we could do like old like fog and like old school like light posts and stuff, like something crazy that would make it different.
Yeah, make it pop.
Yeah. I don't know,
That would
but
be-
I'm excited.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exciting, man. I'm sure it's good to kind of let it all out again.
Yeah,
Get the creative juices flowing, and
exactly. This
Hang
one
out
will be
with your
extra
bros
fun.
again too.
Yeah, this will be extra fun because I was meal prepping a while back, and I sliced the tip of my pinky off with a mandolin veggie slicer.
I never need the pinky anyways.
Well, my little girls are awesome, and Sunday nights we cook meals for us to eat throughout the week that are healthy for them, and they love it, which is hilarious. They're like, "Did you make more meal prep?" And we're like, "What?"
that's awesome.
We like salmon and Dad's lean turkey chili.
That's how you know you're succeeding as a parent.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
You're like, why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
But
Don't you
okay.
want McDonald's like a normal kid?
yeah. Oh, they love McDonald's. That's a whole different story.
Yeah.
My wife's parents, long story. Been in the business of McDonald's for 45 years.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
so
forgot about
crazy.
Yeah.
But so I was slicing some veggies, and the kids were dancing around, and we were having fun, and yeah, the pinky tip just went through the slicer and went to the hospital, and So I've actually, it just healed maybe 2 months ago. So I'm just now regaining some feeling back in it, and I've been playing every as much as I can without it hurting extremely bad.
Right.
But it's going to be like a yes.
Yeah.
Come July, and I shred the show, and be like, man, less than a year ago, I had chopped my pinky finger off.
No pinky. That's crazy.
So come witness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The return of
Triumphant
Nick's
return.
pinky after the veggie slicer incident.
That's a pretty good note to end on there. I know we're a little short on time here, so yeah, I definitely urge people to come out. I'm definitely just talking to you. It makes me like stoked about going.
Cool.
You know, can people just get at you for tickets or?
On Facebook, there's an event page, the Voodoo Lounge. It's all over the Voodoo Lounge website. You can go to the weareco.com. Which is Tyler's new company where he runs all of his cover bands and his original bands and stuff that he does. So we wanted to, definitely run it through him. And you can go to Ticketmaster. It's got it all on July 28th. Yeah, it's ready to roll.
Awesome, man.
Well, we appreciate you coming out, man. We definitely will do this again because I want to get into your real estate stuff too.
Absolutely.
We were a little short on time, but next time we definitely should because.
Did I talk too long?
No,
talker.
absolutely not. No, we just kind of go with it. We don't have
Awesome.
like a specific schedule we have to stick around or anything. But next time we'll go through some of this stuff, and that way people, if they want to buy a house, if they're friends with us, they're probably.
I'm sure they'll
in it for
pick
you.
up something useful too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks a lot, man.
Thanks, man. That was awesome.
Thanks again.